possibilities hindered, and it therefore fueled a cottage industry of migration-related services and a festive annual tradition. Banners, posters, flyers, and signs announced the lottery's annual start, and with it, a signal of American openness and welcome. The lottery painted America as a dreamland. It was a gesture that people understood as targeting African people specifically. It went against the restrictionist grain, allowing Africans a rare alternative to a long-standing sense of global marginalization. In the 1995 lottery, 6.5 million entries from around the world vied for just 55,000 available visas. After having their names drawn as winners, lottery registrants could then apply for an immigrant visa. Running an immigration admissions program as a lottery traded ordinary bureaucratic sobriety for a sense of whimsy. Rather than a set of criteria written by powerful gatekeepers, the lottery placed luck front and center, as if to acknowledge the randomness that shapes our lives, where we are born, what rights we are afforded, whether we have the power to come and go as we please. These depend on happenstance and contingency, rather than something earned. Why pretend otherwise? More than 20,000 diversity visas would be issued to people from Africa that first year, including more than 2,000 to Ghanaians. The envelope I found on eBay wasn't sent to a government agency, even if the address line suggested otherwise. I recognized the recipient's address as the private offices of an American attorney at a suite on Wilshire Boulevard in Los Angeles. I had seen the address printed with photos of the lawyer David L. Amkraut's face on advertisements in Ghanaian newspapers from the 1990s. Amkraut, I learned after Googling him, was sanctioned by the Federal Trade Commission in 1997 for deceptive practices around the green card lottery. Amkraut, I learned after Googling him, was sanctioned by the Federal Trade Commission in 1997 for deceptive practices around the green card lottery. He was accused of inflating his success record, sending multiple entries for his clients, which disqualified them, and then withholding from clients their identifying case numbers to coerce them to retain his legal services for the next step of the process. Intermediaries like Amkraut, along with an array of local actors in Africa, sought to make a profit or a living in an era that tended to elevate entrepreneurial daring. Such practices reflected the rising value of migration services in this era of globalization, especially those that tapped into and alleviated people's anxieties about approaching increasingly fortified U.S. borders. Amkraut denied the charges, but agreed to certain steps of redress, including offering free lottery services to past clients for the next upcoming lottery. We don't know if the envelope's sender got lucky and won, or if they availed themselves of the opportunity to work with Amkraut again for free. Maybe they received a visa, flew to the United States, landed a job, and found an apartment, went back to school, met a spouse, started a family, wrote themselves into the American story. Over more than a quarter century of the lottery's operation, 500,000 people from Africa have received diversity visas to the United States. Altogether, 1.2 million people have been issued these visas, adding to the diversity of American society and bringing their talents and aspirations to these shores. In the 2020s, this object is a relic. This paper envelope contains a story of duplicity and profit-seeking. It is adorned with a historical symbol of the slavery, plunder, and anti-blackness that patterned the modern world. And it nevertheless testifies to the sender's hope for the promise of the American dream. Today, the lottery is conducted online. Indeed, its history is intertwined with the Internet's history, and the Internet has shaped its spread